Hey, sports fans, it is Thursday, June 15th, 2017, and we are live from Las Vegas with BettorCenter. How you doing, sports fans? My name is Louis Diamond, and you are about to get information that you can bet on. Because if you did yesterday, you would have had a nice day. 3 winners, 1 loser yesterday on this show. Unfortunately, the split out was in the executive club where we lost our parlay. The Washington Nats absolutely got lambasted by the Braves and crushed our 2-team parlay. San Diego did what they were supposed to do. And then we had a nice winner with Colorado and Pittsburgh under the number. Then we had the 2 winners in the Red Hot picks, 2 staples that I usually play every day, or mostly every day somewhere, somehow. The Braves over and the Mets over. And they both cashed for us yesterday, picking up some nice units. And as always, you can see my documented record of all my plays on BettorCenter.com. And you can follow me. At the end of the day, I'm making some decent money with these games. And I'm going to make you some money here right now today with the game that's going off shortly. And our first play today will be the Seattle Mariners at the Minnesota Twins. As I've been telling you for days, get on it early, the over. Now today, I actually did pull the trigger on this one. Opens up at 9.5 with the Twins. Minus $1.15, up to $1.25. A little steam on Berrios. Miranda on the mound for the Mariners. But now the game has been steamed up to 10.5. So like I said, something's up with the Minnesota Twins. They've been getting steamed over and often. So get on it early. Even at the 10.5, I would still probably roll with it in today's matchup. So Minnesota Twins. So get your sports book going, guys. Because right now we are going off here shortly with the Minnesota Twins and the Seattle Mariners over 10.5. And Twins, though, I got to tell you this: Berrios 1-7 his last 8 home starts. So definitely don't want to back something like that. But the over has been 17-7-2 for the Twins at home versus a left-handed starter. And when Berrios is on the mound, 5-2-1 to the over. And we do have an over umpire today with Jim Wolf, who is 32-15-5 to the over his last 52 games behind home plate. So solid over there for you today. I am using this as a 2-unit Emerald play, and I think you should get on it. Going off right now, so going off here in about 15 minutes. Next game on the board is going to feature a game going off in about an hour and 15 minutes, and that is the Baltimore Orioles, and they are at the Chicago White Sox. Tillman on the mound for the Orioles. Holmberg on the mound for the White Sox. Holmberg opens up a $1.05 favorite, but the steam goes on Tillman and the Orioles as right now he's up to a $1.25 favorite. Total opens up at 10.5 over, and now we're seeing 11 under. The other way, opened up at 11.5 under, and now we are seeing a 10.5 over, so a little bit of play on the under in this. The Orioles are 5-2 the last 7 meetings, but they're 7-20 on the road. And 1-6 versus a left-handed starter. Tough to back that. They are 1-6 their last 7 games. 0-4 versus a lefty on the road. And 0-4 in Tillman's last 4 starts. But the White Sox, they don't give you a reason to back them either. 4-10 their last 14 games overall. The over has hit 5 out of the last 6 for the Orioles. But the under has hit 5 out of the last 7 on the road versus a lefty. And 9 out of the last 11 on the road when Tillman starts. And the last 55 overall with the Orioles, 36-17-2 for the under. The overs hit 10 out of the last 11 on Thursday. I don't use the days too much in baseball, but Thursday is a travel day, so that might mean a little something to somebody there. 5 out of the last 7 in Chicago have gone over. 9-4-1 overall to the over. De Jesus is behind the plate today, and he is an under umpire, 11-3-2 the last 16 games. I don't have a vibe on this game, so move on to the game I do have another vibe for today, which will be an executive play, and that will be the Boston Red Sox, and they are playing the Philadelphia Phillies today. Left them alone yesterday. Obviously, I wish I wouldn't have, but I still don't think I would have bet it if the game came up again today. So that is an evening game today. So now we're into the evening games. Chris Sale on the mound for the Red Sox. Pivetta on the mound for the Phillies. Sale opens up a 220 favorite, and now he's moved up to a 240 favorite. Total went from 8.5. It is down to 8, and I'm going to take advantage of that 8 because they like to play Sale under. I don't. I see an over here today. I like it for a 10-unit executive game. So the Red Sox 4-1 the last 5 in Philadelphia, 5-1 their last 6 overall, 16-5 versus a righty, 37-15 interleague games, 41-17 interleague games versus a righty. Sale 4 straight starts, 4 straight wins in his last 4 starts, 4 out of 5 on the road. Philly, they all obviously come in terrible, 22-49 overall, 4-9 their last 13 home games, and 0-8 in interleague, 1-5 in Pivetta's last 6 starts. But once again, you're laying 240 with Boston today. Sure, be a great team to throw in a parlay. I'm not finding anything to parlay them with today, so I'm going to pass on Boston, but definitely on the over for an executive game. 5-1-1 for the over for the last 7 interleague road games versus a righty for the Red Sox. 3-1-1 to the over on the road. 4 straight overs overall for Sale. 6-0-1 to the over for the Phillies. And an interleague home game, 4-1-1 versus a lefty at home. And 15-4-2 their last 21 interleague games to the over. And when the Phillies play the American League East, it's been over City, 32-15-4. 3-1-1 the last 5 in Philly. And Jim Wolf behind the plate, 32-15-5, his last 52 to the over. Lots of reasons to be on that over. That is an executive play for me today. Boston, Philadelphia, over 8 runs. There are some 8.5s out there, but it's back down to mostly 8, so you should have an 8. Tampa Bay at Detroit will be our next game on the board. And Cobb is on the mound for the Double Rays. And Tigers got Verlander on the mound, and Verlander is always a favorite to be betting on, and you know there's good reasons why. He does a great job. He's $1.50 favorite what he opens up at, but now down to $1.40. So a little bit of steam on the Rays. The total opens up at 9, goes up to 9.5. I saw some reasons to be playing this over, but 9.5 is leaving me off the game. But Verlander, 6-1, his last 7 home starts versus the Rays, 11-4 overall versus the Rays. Tampa Bay, 5 straight wins versus a righty, 6-2 overall, but 1-4 on the road. But Cobb is the one shining spot on the road, 4-1 his last 5 games on the road. Tigers, now they come in 1-4 versus a righty at home, and they are 1-5 their last 6 overall, which kind of scares me about tying them into a parlay. Sure, Verlander seems to be the play. 5 out of his last 6 at home. So, you know, potentially a parlay in there, but I did leave it alone because we've got a high price on Sale. So, I don't, you know, you're not even going to, you might get somewhere around even money on that one with those 2. Might be a little value if you want to tie those 2 up, but the over has hit for 7 straight games when Tampa Bay has played a team with a losing record, and 14-3 their last 17 road games, 13-3 their last 16 overall. So I'm always looking for a reason to play Tampa Bay over, especially on the road. And Cobb, 12-1 over on grass, 17-5 overall to the over, 16-5 to the road on the over. So why am I not really playing it over? Because Verlander's 13-5-2 to the under at home. He controls his games at home, so it leaves me a little leery. And Verlander 5-0-1 to the under versus the Rays. But 7-1-2 to the over in Detroit. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's wait till tomorrow and let's hit that thing over on the overnight line. So when you wake up and see this show tomorrow, you'll realize you got ahead of the game. So look for that one for the over for tomorrow with the Tampa Bay and Detroit. Next game on the board is going to face that one team that I like to play over every day. That's the New York Mets, but I'm leaving it alone today, guys, and I'm going to tell you why. First, it's the Mets, or the Nationals have Gonzalez on the mound, left-handed pitcher, and he opens up Mets open up a $1.15 favorite. This team goes on the Nats, where they are now a $1.15 favorite. Selman on the mound for the Mets. Total is 9 over minus 20. Not too much movement on the total. There's some mixed emotions here. The Nats are currently 8-2 their last 10 road games, so they've done well on the road. Gonzalez 4-1 versus the Mets, and the Nats 42-14 the last 56 in New York, 5-2 the last 7 overall. So you don't want to get on those Mets in this scenario here. You're looking for a reason to play the Nats, and that's why you probably got this team. But they are 1-5 their last 5 games versus a righty, 1-5 their last 6 overall, and 5-2 on the road for Gonzalez, but only 2-5 his last 7 starts. So not feeling a side here, even though I see a big dominating head-to-head factor. Mets are hot right now, 5 out of their last 6, and Selman 5-2 his last 7. So I got to leave that alone. The over has hit 10-4 for the Nats versus a righty. 7 out of the last 10 overall. And Gonzalez, 4 out of his last 5 road starts have gone over. So why? And the Mets versus a lefty, 14-6-1 to the over. And we know that the Mets are completely an over team. Selman, 7-2 to the over at home. I'm kind of talking myself into going with the over here again today. His last 11 starts over. But now I'm getting to the reason why. Gonzalez, 6-1-1 to the under versus the Mets. And in New York, 16-5-1 to the under. So, and Gonzalez, 7-3-3 to the under versus the Mets. So that is why I will be leaving them alone here today. I'm going to wait and see. I'll probably be on the over again with different pitching tomorrow. It'll probably be over again today, but there's some dominating numbers from Gonzalez that says, let's just lay off of that right now. So we'll leave this one alone today. We're definitely going to be on this one tomorrow to the over, so look for it on the overnight line so you can get it before the steam does hit. Next game on the board, going to be the Brewers, and they are going to be at the St. Louis Cardinals. Davies on the mound for the Brewers, and Waka on the mound for the Cardinals. Waka opens up a $1.42 favorite, still hovering somewhere around there. Total opens up 9 over. Still got a lot of 9 overs out there, and now we're seeing some 9.5 unders. And I also will be playing this one over as a diamond play, a 3-unit play, diamond play, Brewers, Cardinals to the over. The Brewers are 4-1 in Davies' last 5 road starts, 8-2 his last 10 starts overall. Cards 6-2 at home, but 4-9 their last 13. And Waka 1-4 his last 5 starts. So definitely not seeing value on the side there. The over, though, 5-2-1 for the Brewers over their last 8 overall. Davies 4-1-2 his last 7, 10-3-2 his last 15 overall. Waka 5-1 to the over at home, and when he's on the mound, 36-16-1 to the over. 5 straight overs for Waka versus the Brewers. At home, 4-1 for his last 5 versus the Brewers. 5-2 to the over their last 7 meetings. So I am going to be playing this one over. I even got a touch of the overs from Glazer behind the plate. 4-1 to the over. 3-unit diamond play over the 9. I'm starting to see some 9.5s. Get that 9 while you can. It should be a nice solid 3-unit winner for you with St. Louis and Milwaukee over the number. Next game on the board, going to be the San Francisco Giants, and they are at the Colorado Rockies. And Moore is on the mound for the Giants, and Hoffman on the mound for Colorado. Hoffman's a $1.46 favorite, still hovering right around there. The total, 11, still pretty much hovering around there. The Giants, 0-4 in Colorado, 0-5 versus Colorado overall. 3-7 their last 10 on the road. 7-18 their last 25 on the road versus the righty. 1-4 their last 5. 1-5 their last 6 versus the righty. Moore 1-7 on the road. 0-4 his last 4 starts. now you can see why we should be looking at Colorado. You can see why Colorado is definitely a large favorite here today for Colorado, $1.50 favorite. 8-3, their last 11 overall. 10-4, their last 14 versus a lefty at home. 4 straight. Hoffman's on the mound. So definitely see a little value there in the Rockies. You may want to tie that up in a parlay with a couple of other favorites like Boston and Detroit. Entertainment parlay. Keep yourself focused on the games. San Francisco has gone over 3 out of the last 5 road games with the push in there. 7 out of the last 8 road starts for Moore have gone over 1 push, so he hasn't gone under at all. But the Rockies, 6-1-1, they've gone under the last 8 games. 3-1-1, their last 5 have gone over at home. So I'm just going to really pass this game away. Maybe I'll toss it in there with a little bit of a salad parlay in there. As I talk these games, sometimes I feel a little bit of more than when I was reading and researching the game. So maybe there's a little 3-teamer in there for some entertainment. And let's get to the next game, and that's going to feature the New York Yankees. And they are at the Oakland A's. Montgomery on the mound for the Yankees. And Gray on the mound for the A's. And total is 8.5. Montgomery opens up a $1.30 favorite. And they get a little steam on Gray, as the Yankees are now $1.15. So total, like I said, opens up 8.5 under. Now we're seeing some 8.5 overs. And get it before it goes to 9. Because this is another executive play here today, which is going to be a nice solid 10-unit winner with this one over. So Yankees and Oakland over the number is going to be another play. Yankees, they're 6-2 their last 8 overall, 7-2 their last, and the A's, but the A's are 7-2 their last 9 home games versus a left-handed starter, but 4-10 on grass, 1-6 their last 7 overall, 7-19 in Gray's last 26 starts. So maybe a little something for the Yankees. The Yankees are 4-1 to the under on the road, which sucks when you're playing the over, but the over's 5-2 their last 7 overall. So they are on a little bit of an overpace and just hitting the road. The 5-1 to the under for Montgomery's last 6 starts, but that's not going to stop me because the A's will come with 3-0-1 to the over versus a lefty. 9-1-2 to the over the last 12 games overall. 4-1-1 to the over at home. 9-3 versus a left-handed pitcher. 10-3 for Gray on his last 13 home starts. 20 overs, 7 unders, and a push in his last 28 starts overall. So you can see why I'm falling in love with this over here today for a 10-unit play. And you got to side with the Yankees for an edge. 4 straight wins in Oakland. 6 out of the last 7 have gone in favor of the Yankees. So definitely an overplay there with Oakland in New York for another executive play. Now let's move on to the Kansas City Royals. Playing the Los Angeles Angels. Strom on the mound for the Royals. Nolasco on the mound for the Angels. Nolasco is a $1.30 favorite. Hasn't moved too much. Totals moved from 8.5 to 9 under. And the Royals have won 4 straight against the Angels. 4 straight wins, their last 4 overall. The Angels 8-3 at home versus a lefty. 5 of the last 7 overall. But Nolasco, 8 straight losers. 1-4 at home. Tough to back that. Tough to back Kansas City. But they are a little bit warm right now. So maybe a touch of the edge on there. The overs has hit 5 straight for the Royals. 6 straight on the road. And 4 straight versus a righty, while the Angels 4 straight unders versus a lefty, and 17-8 to the under in the first game of the series. That will leave me saying I'm going to leave this game alone here today. So that'll do it for the breakdown and the rundown of all of today's games. Let's take another look once again. Let's go over today's picks. We have 2 red-hot picks, and that is going to be Milwaukee and St. Louis. And we're going to play that one over the 9, a 3-unit play over the 9. And then we have Seattle and Minnesota, who is going, that game's probably already off in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, Seattle and Minnesota playing that over 10.5 for a 2-unit play. So a 3-unit play with Milwaukee St. Louis over. 2-unit play with Seattle, Minnesota over. 2 executive plays today, 10-unit plays. First one is going to be the over with the Boston Red Sox and the Philadelphia Phillies, and the total is 8 on that one right now. And then we're going to play the over with the New York Yankees and the Oakland A's, and that one is sitting at 8.5. 2 10-unit plays. So hopefully we'll talk about some more winners for everybody again tomorrow with those plays there today, and hopefully we'll cash just like we did yesterday. This is Louis Diamond. I appreciate you joining us here on BettorCenter, and we're back again tomorrow with some more information you can bet on.